How's it going, everyone? It's Sam. I want to talk to you today about every single stock, every single asset that I bought and sold this week. So I'm going to take you through a couple of my dividend stocks that I bought. I'm going to walk you through some alternative assets, and then I'll tell you about all the growth stocks and all the penny stocks that I bought and sold and what I did with that, because this was the most active week of investing that I've ever had. I'm not sure if I'll do this again because I bought so many different stocks. It's been a very volatile week for my portfolio, at least. A lot of stocks going up a lot and then a lot of stocks going down a lot. So we're going to cover all that in this video. If you guys like, please hit the like button. I really appreciate it. It does help out the channel. If you guys want to hit subscribe, that helps out too. I really appreciate it. I like to give you guys an update every single week on what I bought and sold because I do a lot of videos on different stocks that I'm buying or stocks that I'm selling and stuff like that. So definitely subscribe to the channel if you haven't done that already. If you guys want, I use M1 Finance for my dividend portfolio because it just reinvests the money back in every single week. And it's a passive way of investing. Dividend investing in general for me is more of a passive way in investing. So if you guys want, there's a link down there to M1 Finance. You can sign up for that. And there's still a link down there for WeBull. Today's the last day that they are saying that they'll give away the 4 free stocks if you deposit $100. And let's get into it. I think I've talked enough. So you can see our dividend portfolio. A lot of people wonder why this is so small, and that's because we only put $100 a week in. Now, for me, I could invest more. I've been investing more in other ways, but the point of this portfolio is to show that you can grow a pretty big portfolio over time if you just reinvest in good companies and you just continue at it. So right now, we've been investing $100 a week for a little bit over half a year, and you can just see the portfolio value is going up nicely. We have some nice gains on this, and it doesn't take a lot of work. So right now I'm just reinvesting in a lot of good companies, and it might be boring for some people to watch, but we've been getting really good returns. So JP Morgan 60%, Disney 40%, Foot Locker 40%, Innovative Industrial Properties 90%. So we've been getting good returns. If we look at what we've done this week, you can see we only bought one stock this week, and it was JP Morgan Chase. So JP Morgan Chase actually came out with their earnings, kind of a mixed bag where they destroyed earnings. They beat earnings expectations by about 40%, but they also had some other news that caused people to be a little bit worried because they were going to throw more money, I believe, at marketing. So that's something to take into account. And they also are throwing more money at technology, but I think those are both good uses for their money. So moving on from there, you can see our dividend portfolio has done pretty well. I also bought alternative assets. And again, I'll get to the penny stocks here in a moment, but I bought some alternative assets this week. And honestly, I put way too much money in investments this week. I was just going back through to figure out everything that I bought this week, and it's a large amount. So BlockFi is a company, if you don't know, I've talked about it several times, where you can put money in and you can buy different stablecoin, buy cryptocurrencies, you can buy alternative assets, and they pay you an interest rate for it. So for Bitcoin, I have Bitcoin, they pay you 6%. So on this money here, I will get about $10 a month in Bitcoin. Now, it's an APY of 6%, unless you have, I believe, over 3 Bitcoin, then it lowers it a little bit. But I think that's the only asset that it does that on. Ethereum, it pays 5.25%. And then stablecoin, if you don't know what stablecoin is, it's just tied to the US dollar or to some number. The GUSD is what I hold, and it's tied to the US dollar. It doesn't fluctuate in price at all. It just pays me interest of 8.6%, I believe. So there is a link down there if you want to check out BlockFi. Bitcoin has been going down a little bit today. I believe Ethereum has gone down today too, but I picked up on the dip earlier this week, and I've been just putting more and more money in here as kind of like a alternative asset that I can hold on to, that if it does as well as analysts say, it's going to go up in value a lot. It does pay interest too. So let's say I put in $5,000 in Bitcoin right now, and then Bitcoin price doubles. I'm getting a much higher yield on my initial principal because that interest rate is still the same whether I have 5,000 or 10,000. So I can put 5,000 in, it goes up to 10,000. I'm getting a much higher yield on my initial investment. So that's kind of my thinking behind this. It accrues interest. It's paid out every month. It's given me a lot of interest. This is just from about I think the last week is when I put a lot more money in here, and it's paying me a good amount of interest. Now, I'm not going to show you exactly what I bought and sold in my different portfolios. I put it in an Excel sheet. And if you guys want to know exactly what I buy and sell in real time, you can check that out in my Patreon. I tell everyone what I buy and sell the minute that I do it in my Patreon. Also, there's access to 3,500 other investors that are in there. So a lot of people talk about buying and selling stocks all the time. So link down in the description for that. I bought a lot and sold a lot this week. So I won't tell you how much I bought and sold. That's kind of for the Patreon, but I will show you when I bought it and when I sold it, the prices and stuff like that. So we had 4 swing trades that I took advantage of this week. So HAP stock, Happiness Biotech. We were talking about how it was going to be a swing trade. I held it for one day, went up about 10%, sold it off. We had TRXC, one that I bought last Friday. It jumped up so much over the weekend that I sold it because we were up literally 75% or so, 76% in a day. And now it's actually up more than that after I sold it. So, I mean, you win some, you lose some. I tried to take some risk off the table, and, I got 75% return in a day. NMTR, we were up a couple percent, just about 1.5%. I saw it go up, come down, go up, come down. I just didn't want to handle tracking it anymore. I'm not sure where it's at now, but we sold it earlier this week. We sold it for a little bit of a profit, not a huge profit, but you can't win on every single stock. Now, we also bought Bridgetown Holdings, BTWN, a stock that is in the e-commerce space. I talked about earlier this week if you want to hear more about it. We're up a little bit. I'm holding this one for now, trying to get closer to that announcement. And I apologize, the formatting is not the same on all of these. I don't know why, because I try to make it the same, but anyways, we're up a little bit on that one. Not huge or anything. CCIV, they announced that they're merging with, or that they didn't announce it. The rumor is they're merging with Lucid Motors. They still are deciding on that, but it's up a lot since we bought it. It's up about 50%, I believe. We're still holding on that one. NEO. Bought it when it dipped because they announced a share offering, or they were going to raise some cash or something like that. Bought it when it dipped, and now it's dipping more today. Actually went down 6% today, but I'm still holding this one. I like it long term. I just added a few shares, just what was in my cash, so I'm happy to hold that one for a long time. BTAQ, a SPAC that I bought earlier this week. I bought kind of heavy because it's a store of value. It was under $11. They're trying to get into the tech space. And I have videos on almost all of these, I believe. If you guys want to check out my channel, search for them. But BTAQ, I'm holding kind of as a store of value. It might not move for a while, but I like it for now. I believe they're the company that has the old HP CEO on their team. So I'm holding that one. CleanSpark has been down a little bit this week. This is one of the stocks that I bought this week that actually has gone down a significant amount. They had a short seller report that came out yesterday on the 14th, but I'd been buying it on the 13th because it dipped a little bit, and they had some good news again, so I wanted to buy some more. I'm holding this one for a while. Now it's $33.60, so not a great swing on that one, but I'm holding it for a while, so I plan on holding that one. And I talked about the short seller report yesterday, so if you guys want to see that, you can. I covered it pretty in depth, I think. I had Cloud Commerce too, talked about it. It had gone up so much. I think it had been up like 1,500%. We bought it. I saw it go up to like 18 or 19. I held it. I was hoping to get up to 21, and it just didn't hit there. It started to come back down, so I sold it. That was the only one I believe that I sold the same day, just because I saw it coming down. I'm like, I just need to lock in the 7% profit or whatever it was. DMTK, I bought and I'm holding. It's up just a tiny bit since we bought it. It's a biotech company that I really like. You can check out my video on that one. That one I bought pretty heavy. I mean, I think I bought more of that one than maybe any other stock on this list. StarPeak, another company that's similar to CLSK. It's different, obviously, but they're in the grid space. They have taken a big hit this week too. There's just a lot of news on like the energy sector this week. Energy sector has taken a hit. Then I bought more CleanSpark after the short report. I didn't think that was a good representation of what was going on necessarily. Again, you can see that video for a little bit more information. It's dipped a little bit since then. Senseonics has pretty much traded sideways. It's down a little bit, but I just bought it yesterday. I'm holding this one longer term. It's kind of like in my mind, it could be like a BNGO, but with all these penny stocks, I bought a small amount because I'm trying to limit my risk. I kind of talked about that this morning in the video or I talked about that last night, I believe, on the video on Sense, and I also talked about on another penny stock video that I did today. But I'm just trying to limit risk. I'm not trying to expose myself too much to risk. And then Star Peak was the last one that I bought yesterday, and that one, again, kind of went down a little bit since then, but I'm still holding this one long term. I added to my positions in Clean Spark and Star Peak. Both of those are down. Those are really the only two ones I think we lost we're down a significant amount on. Those might be the only holdings we're down a significant amount on, but I'm holding long term. I think that it's just a fluctuation in the market. Not every single stock you buy can go up every single time you buy it. So I tried to average down a little bit. We'll see where it goes, but those are both longer term holds for me. You guys can definitely check out the link down below to Patreon if you want to get all this information in real time. I'm really excited about some of these holdings, and I invested way more this week than I think I've ever bought ever in a week. I think probably significantly more, like multiples 5 to 10x what I usually buy. So if you guys want to know exactly what I'm buying and selling in real time, you can check out the link down below. If you guys want, you can check out the link to WeBull or M1 Finance if you want to start investing with them. I do appreciate it. They're both affiliates of mine, so it does help out the channel. If you guys want to see the video that I did on another penny stock that I'm not buying, but it's interesting, I'm just trying to limit my risk a little bit in the penny stock market, you can check out this video here. And if you want to see the video on Sen stock, the stock that I just bought yesterday that's a penny stock, you can check out this video here. Thank you guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.